We received a grant in August of last year, and the purpose of the grant was to develop neural probes. These are devices for recording electrical activity in the brain. We're going to make probes for specific applications and give them to researchers who will be able to do good things with them.
Dr. Wolf, we're trying to develop new techniques to record from large populations of cells, so he's trying to help us design these new probes with contacts along the shafts.
So here's a probe, and we want to print electrodes on the side of it, and at most they'll have 4 electrodes on them.
We are working towards increasing the density of electrodes, the density of channels on the probes.
One of the probes that we proposed just last night to the Texas Medical School people was to build a probe with 70 electrodes on it, and the diameter of the probe is about the same as a human hair.
I see obvious advantages from a technical standpoint, as well as it will help our experiments. We can record from more cells, fresher neurons, more active neurons, and so on. So it will really help answer long-standing questions about the neural correlates of behavior at the population level.
I had been working for several years on neural probes with the same idea, cylindrical probe with printed electrodes of very high density. And when Wei came, he was interested in optogenetics, and so we had been using different wire substrates, and he suggested that we begin using optical fibers so that we could get into the developing field of optogenetics.
So optogenetics is a new technique which imparts light sensitivity to neurons. In other words, the modified neurons, genetically modified neurons, can now respond to light. For example, they can be stimulated, excited, or even suppressed by light.
What we're currently trying to do is to insert optic fibers in the brain to stimulate neurons, large populations of neurons. And then once they are stimulated, we can record their activity while the animal performs a task.
Another thing proposed to do is to be able to map the neurons with very high precision. And that's where Dr. Ji Chen comes in.
We want to identify which neuron at a certain instant send out the electrical activity here. So the purpose of this, is not only to detect the particular neuron location, but also in the future, we can further target the particular location to cure some disease. We are like a post-processing part of this work. So we collect all the signal, do electromagnetic simulation, then do the inversion algorithm to detect the location and estimate the location of the neuron.
Until I started working on this, I had no contact at all with neuroscience. I still don't know hardly anything about it. But I've worked with some fantastic people. One is Gopati Purushothaman, he was then at Vanderbilt University, and now with Valentin Dragoi at the medical center.
So the BRAIN initiative encourages collaborations between experimentalists and theoreticians and engineers, and this has never happened before. So I think it's a great time for neuroscience.
It is kind of an exciting project if you see, because you can pretty much apply it to yourself, right? Because you're looking at something, you're looking at understanding something that is so complex that it controls your life, controls your entire body and everything around you.
There's 2 things of this particular project can benefit the future research. The first one is how we can understand how the brain works here, right? We can make the connectivity between one point to another point, understand the information flow. Okay? The second one is a cure on the disease here, right? Lots of the disease, they actually have lots of unwanted firing of neuron in a certain region here. So once we detect that particular location here, and we can using other electromagnetic stimulus technology here to refocus energy to that same location here, try to offset the neuron signals here, and potentially cure the disease, such as Parkinson's disease.
We may not be able to understand how the brain works in our lifetime, but we may be able to make important progress in the general principles, right? So to uncover fundamental principles based on which brain extracts information from the environment, adapts this information, or adapts to changes in the environment,
And it's just fascinating to see what's going on. How are the experiments done? What is the thought process? What are the hypotheses? What are the conclusions? So it's a whole new window. It's a window on a new field for me.